I thought I'd do a bit of a different video in this one and talk about my entrepreneurial journey from the start to where I am right now. I always find it interesting listening to other people's stories. Yeah, I thought I'd share a bit about my background and where I've come from, where I'm at now, and where I'm literally at right now. I'm actually sat in a camping chair. I do a lot of mountain biking, a lot of traveling around. I have a cup of coffee, I've just woken up, I'm in Italy. My journey has been quite an evolution through many different stages, as you do when you're growing businesses, growing personally. Yeah, it all started for me, I've always gone against the grain. So ever since I left school, I've always wanted to do my own thing. So started out being, I think I was a personal trainer like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, probably longer than that actually. In personal training, I was a freelance personal trainer in a gym, having to work my ass off to get clients, right? So then I had to learn the art and skill of marketing. So I had to go and learn how to actually get clients. Through that, I came across copywriting, which if you're not clued in what copywriting is, it's sales through the written word. Got absolutely hooked on copywriting after I found out how lucrative it could be. So I used copywriting for a bit to get clients in personal training, but then also fell out of love with training people because I found they just didn't listen to me. And personal training just ended up being a counseling session for most people. I stopped doing personal training with clients and just started to focus on my copywriting, which allowed me to work on the road, be a bit more flexible so I could carry on doing my mountain biking. So and a lot of the time I spend mountain biking, racing. I have a bunch of other YouTube channels about mountain biking, which maybe I'll share one day. But yeah, started copywriting to fund that lifestyle so I could work on the road. Through all the twists and turns, met my business partner, Peter, and I was actually working with him at a company together who taught people how to start and grow businesses on Amazon with private label products. And when I first started doing their email copywriting, I came in at the bottom rung, was just this basically an apprentice. And the guy who owned the company taught me a lot about marketing, very smart businessman, very smart marketer. And I ended up looking after all their email marketing campaigns along with a couple other people on the team. It was a great experience. To actually learn about the business, I ended up starting my own private label business to learn more about what they were teaching and what the clients were struggling with, so then my copywriting could be better. Through a bunch of twists and turns, that business ended up growing quite big, and I ended up really enjoying that whole process of finding a product, getting it made, getting it manufactured, bringing it in, and then growing it globally and selling it all around the world. And I had a bunch of products that did really well that are still selling to this day, and that must be 5, 6, 7, even 8 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Through all these twists and turns, kind of joined forces with my business partner Peter, who we have been growing businesses together and brands together for a long time now. Through that, we started a coaching company to help other people who also wanted to start selling physical products online. And it started out mainly just helping people who wanted to start a business on Amazon like we'd been taught to do, because that's what we knew and what our bread and butter was. So we started showing other people what we'd learned. And we still have a bunch of coaching students in that, still help people from all around the world growing business on Amazon. But now our scope has grown we've grown to realize that Amazon isn't just the only marketplace you can sell physical products. It's super attractive because it gives you access to all these people. It's really easy for people to buy on Amazon, so there's already inbuilt trust there. It's a really good platform, but it's not the only platform. So then we started to expand onto Shopify and actually learning more about growing an actual brand, because that for us was super powerful. Because when we were selling products on Amazon, we were just basically selling any old product under a house brand name, and it didn't really have any value, it didn't really have any substance to it. So then what we realized was, well, if we grow a brand or start growing these brands with specific products underneath them, then they become like a sellable asset. So if down the road we want to sell them, we have the option to do that, and it actually has some value to them, and we can build brand equity over time. So that's been our focus for the past 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. And that has then morphed into many different things at looking at how to help students faster, one of our more recent discoveries, you probably could say, was Trojan selling. I've talked a bit about on this channel, which is kind of like an evolution of like where all our history has come and like come together. Yeah, we kind of just stumbled across it. Through all the evolution and starting brands, one brand we started and partnered together on with another person as well was Apex goggles, or Apex eyewear. It's a mountain bike goggle, and they sold really well. But what made them sell even better was when we introduced a trial offer. So we let customers try the product before they actually put any money down. And we got this idea from people selling mattresses, people selling prescription sunglasses, and prescription glasses, where they would let customers try the product before they paid for them, or they had such a strong guarantee in place that it was no risk to the customer. So we just took that and ran with it, had some phenomenal results with it, like absolutely phenomenal results. And then we started to look at, well, what about if we build a system around this to help other brands who also want to increase the amount of money they make from their brand or their business by just being more transparent, being more honest, which I feel is something that is lacking right now in e-commerce and just online shopping in general. When you go online to buy something, I feel you want to be in a position where you trust the brand you're buying from, you know you're going to get the product like really fast, and when it arrives, you want to be confident that it's going to be the product you actually want and it's going to deliver the results that it's promising. Because there's nothing worse than buying something off, like, I don't know, say Temu, and it looks amazing on the pictures, they do a really good job of it, and then you see the price and you're like, what, that's crazy, how can such a thing be this price? Maybe Temu is a bad example, but it turns up, oftentimes you're disappointed by the quality or by what it's actually promising is not what was promised when you first bought it. And then even if the company does offer a guarantee and you can get your money back, you still have to post the product back. You still have to go through that process of trying to get your money back, which is something that customers shouldn't have to do. Like, they should just be able to get your product and it's the right product to begin with. So we started to implement this Trojan selling with Apex and had a great result so far. Still have customers coming in every single day buying our goggles and products on the basis that they can just pay for the shipping and handling. They get the product and then they can try the product for 30 days. And if they don't like it, then they just send it back to us, no questions asked. And if they do like it, then they just get to keep the goggles. And obviously the remaining balance is charged. Because of our upfront honesty and willingness to give away the product, essentially, this has increased like the amount of trust someone has in us, which we didn't actually, well, actually it was designed for that. But one thing we noticed with a client we worked, which was fucking something we never even realized would happen, we offered Trojan selling on the front end so people could buy a $300 product on his offer. But what actually happened was people started buying the product at full price just because we had the trial there. So people were almost seeing the trial and probably thinking, well, if they're that confident to give away the product for this, then I might as well just buy the product right now. Like, because they must believe in the product so much, then this company is clearly a trustworthy brand. And that's kind of like something that we never even thought would happen, but that's a realization we've had. So that's kind of where we're at with business. It's grown through many twists and turns, many learning lessons, many ups and downs, many losses, many big wins, and it's all like morphed into this area where we're at right now. And that's kind of like what I want to share on this channel more of, like more entrepreneurial lessons, journeys, mistakes, wins, losses, everything. You know, if you're interested in Trojan selling, I will leave links below to go and check it out. There's like an explainer video there so you can see more about it, how it works, who the clients are we're looking to work with. I'm always interested to hear your guys' take on things, so let me know in the comments what you think, and YouTube will recommend videos up here you should go and check out next, and I'll see you in the next video.